Welcome back. This time we're going back to our trip in Vietnam and we are exploring the city in Phu Quoc Island. It was really early in the morning and everything was really mellow. A lot of people were out swimming in the beaches and people were out and about going to work. So we decided to walk around the city and to film our walk all the way to the wet market where the locals would shop. And in this wet market, you would see everything that you would need for the daily meals, from meats to vegetables to seafood, and a lot of locals will shop here. So I was walking around with a camera and people were not shy at all, and they were really glad to see me filming. And there was a couple kids also that kind of see my camera and they thought I was so hilarious. So join along and see what was along the way and how daily life is for people who lives in the local area. Alright, this is Alex here. It's 6 a.m. here in Phu Quoc Island. As you can see, the sun rises quite early. It's 6 a.m. but it's near the equator, so it's pretty bright outside already. The culture here in Vietnam is when you go to the beach, a lot of people like to go swimming in the morning where the water is a lot calmer and the waves and everything is just not as strong. And I'm walking around up the beach here and I see tons of guests from the hotel in different areas. They're all out and about swimming in the ocean. Let's take a look here. Yesterday we only saw a few people, but if you can see this morning here, they're fully out there and they go out pretty far. So I don't know if the water level recedes a little bit higher in the morning so you could go farther, but I definitely see a lot of people out here swimming, and some of them go all the way out. I see them like 100 meters away. That's, like 100 yards far. I don't know how deep it is out there, but they're definitely swimming it out there. As you can see in the far corner, there's a little Buddhist pagoda. Probably been there a long time, but yeah, this resort's right next to the city center. In the morning, look, a lot of people swimming. So I checked the hotel website yesterday. So this structure that they're building is for a music festival, but that's for the 18th and the 19th. I unfortunately won't be here, so I won't get to see it, but hopefully they have a good time. Our taxi driver told us that about a mile away there is a market that sells a lot of seafood in the morning for the local seafood vendors. So he said walk over there in the morning. So I will begin to jog my way there. So we'll record on and off along the way. Yep, so about 100 meters away from the hotel. As you can see, you can start seeing the river that meets up with the ocean. And here's that pagoda that we were seeing in the background. I think there's a lot of people that comes here and worship. We'll maybe check that out later, but for now, let's go find our fish market. So with any typical riverfront, Vietnam loves to build parks for the local residences and everybody to be able to come enjoy the scene. You can see from the piers in the distance and the river mouth up front. A lot of people enjoying their time at the park, exercising. It's very cool in the morning, so a lot of people love to wake up early and do their exercises, because after, a couple more hours, 2 or 3 more hours, they might get too hot, and they're really shy of the sun. Alright, so this is the boat parking lot that we saw yesterday apparently. This river probably goes in, I don't know how many miles deep into the island. We can look that up later. Alright, let's continue our way to the fish market. So right now we're safe to assume that we are walking away from the tourist front and walking back towards more of the local front, where more locals will spend their time and their day-to-day activities like fishing and commerce and everything else the island needs. Okay, well here's the bridge, and apparently once we cross the bridge, there should be the fish market. It doesn't look like there's any path or pedestrian walkway, so I'm glad Phu Quoc is more of a remote, populated area, and not too much cars is going to be next to me as I walk across this bridge. Alright, I'm glad the rest of the bridge actually does have a crossway. So apparently you're supposed to go up and down these stairs and then go from these little roads to the edge of the bridge instead of actually walking on the car only side of the bridge. So we'll do that when we come back. Maybe a little bit less dangerous. But for now, let's check out the river scene. Wow, a lot of small boats, probably family run, local, doing their night fishing, bringing in their goods to sell to the market and vendors, and then they will sell back to all the restaurants and consumers that goes for the rest of the day. Alright, so it looks like I need to cross the bridge and go on the other side. One thing about crossing the street here in Vietnam is there's a ton of motorbikes. So the safest way to walk is to walk slowly and let them dodge you. Don't try to dodge them. And that is the key to crossing any roads in Vietnam. Is first of all, look for a crosswalk with a light. If there isn't none, walk slowly, as slow as you can, and let every driver dodge you, because the moment you try to dodge them, they will get confused, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so here is the market. This is more of your local market, selling all your vegetables, seafood, meats, different things that a family or a restaurant may need to cook their meals for the day. Squid and shrimp. Yeah. So far the seafood in here is more of your everyday household variety. So maybe not your grand kind of seafood that is sold in different places. But over here they have some bigger fishes. You can see that there's some baby sharks. Not sure what kind of fish is that, but pretty cool. Yeah, I think as we're venturing deeper in, we'll start seeing more fish varieties here. The typical fish tanks with the famous ocean crab. It tastes very familiar to Maryland blue crab. I don't know if they're cousins, but they look a little bit different because they have spots on them instead of their typical blue. But I have tried both, and they both taste very similar. This one has a slightly sweeter texture, while Maryland blue crab has a more oceany texture. If that makes any sense. What is that one? Frogs, some local river fishes, tilapia. So not just from the ocean, but also from the rivers. Snails and such. Selling snails and seafood and live snail that is still alive. A typical feature of these wet markets is that typically they like to sell live. It doesn't quite make it frozen when it comes to these wet markets, because they don't have the kind of refrigeration needed to maintain the freshness. So anything that is very fresh that comes in the morning, whether it's a chicken, beef, pork, seafood, or all sorts of things, it just basically is farm to table or ocean to table. You know, never made it into a refrigerator. Maybe a little bit of ice here and there to keep them from perishing too fast. But if you want fresh, never frozen, these markets always is a place to be, because there is no refrigeration for it to be frozen. Vietnamese, they're very accustomed to eating this kind of lifestyle where they don't like it frozen too much. They view it kind of as a foreign subject, because traditionally it has always been, you know, straight from the ocean that morning into one of these markets or centers. Wow, this place is like, I guess, specializes in shrimp, because you can see there's like 20 varieties here. Mantis prawns, different things. So if I were to, you know, rent an apartment or a hotel room and they allow me to cook, I would definitely be buying some right now to bring into the room just to cook a little and have a meal for later on. But unfortunately, my hotel does not have any such kitchen available. A lot of people love to stay in apartment hotels that kind of is somebody's house and they Airbnb it out. They have the full amenities of a kitchen and different things you may need. So they can cook a lot of seafood along the way. So if I were to have more time to know a place, I would rent that, Airbnb it, and having that full kitchen option, you can probably cook and experience the local ingredients a lot better than if you were a tourist staying at a hotel. Wow, this wet market is pretty massive. The deeper you go, the more selection you see. I wonder how many times in a day they'll have somebody like me walking through with a camera, just talking endlessly, filming but never buying. It's kind of hard to carry a fish around while you're filming, trying to talk. So as you can see, the crowd here is all local. People are just getting ready for their morning and daily routine, getting their meals prepped ready for the rest of the day. Some of them probably is restaurant owners. Some of them are just probably just family members getting ready for their family meal. There's vendors offering small foods, light breakfasts for, you know, people who just need a quick breakfast for the cheap, very affordable prices. Okay, so it looks like we reached the end of the market here. I will resume filming, but you know, it's a quite busy area. Motorbikes and people are weaving in and out. So I better focus on not being in anybody's way and getting ran over or anything like that. Oh look, a giant snail. Forgot what they're called that, but some clams, different things. I've never seen these fishes. They look like a pompano. That's one of my favorite fishes to eat in the U.S. Pompano from Florida. Very meaty, delicious fish. That one kind of looks like that. Oh, this one. this guy, this vendor here has a lot more lobsters and mantis prawns. Your more expensive fare here. Usually the bellwether of the seafood game is your lobster and your mantis prawn. Typically I tried the mantis prawn, and I will say it tastes like a very sweet lobster to me. I kind of prefer it over lobster because it has a milder taste and a sweet finish. Sometimes when you eat seafood, it has that taste of the ocean that after you eat one or two, you can really feel it. But with the mantis prawn, it has a more milder taste, so you could probably eat a lot more of it, kind of like shrimp. So the market kind of stretches in, and people kind of sell up front where the motorbike level would stop by. But I guess their logistical hub is in the back next to the river here, where they'll probably take in some supply from boats and different things and store their products back there. And then they kind of bring their product out here in the street level for people to see instantly, recognize instantly, and to sell instantly. But yeah, maybe it is a wet market because they literally take it off from a boat that is wet and they move it to the street, and therefore it becomes a wet street. It becomes a wet market. That's just my theory. Don't quote me on this. Alright, so we're moving away from your seafood game and back into the sort of the entrance where all your veggie vendors would be. Because a lot of families need a lot of fresh veggies for the day. Sometimes they don't want to go too deep. They don't want to go too deep into a market. So usually typically the veggie vendors will be located at the front entrance to make it easy for a lot of customers that needs just a quick 1 or 2 ingredients for the day, just to stop by and get it. And the prices are extraordinarily low. I mean, we're talking about like $1 for 2 pounds here, 50 cents a pound. One of the first seafood vendors to set up their seafood at the entrance here. We have some Delta crab, very famous in Vietnam. This is like the latest trend, where they want to eat a crab with a lot of roe in it. And then your typical shrimp again, about $10 a kilo or $5 a pound. So I mean, fresh, never frozen, $4 or $5 a pound. I mean, that's why you're in Vietnam, the land of coastlines, right? Seafood is almost like an everyday staple here. Alright, so I guess we'll go back up the bridge. Look, there's some coffee vendors for all the uncles who transport their goods, and sometimes they hang around and wait for work to be done. It's right there, right along the wet market. We have all the boats, so maybe that has something to do with the market being so wet. All the boats and rivers just splashing all their food and supplies right on the shore. Okay, so on the other bank of the river, I just walk a little bit, and then I realize I'm back in the night market that I was in yesterday. So that side of the market is the night market. Makes perfect sense. One side kind of serves as a tourist spot, and one side serves the local. Beautiful. So this side of the river is the night market that we were walking yesterday, and this is how it is in the daytime. As you can see, there's the bridge that we just crossed, and here's all the vendors and stall that was out and about advertising their product, trying to get the locals and tourists to come in their shop to eat, buy, drink, do whatever. And in the daytime, it kind of just sits here until, you know, it's their time to shine at night. While the action is on the other side of the river, where the local markets are. That's where all the locals will be spending time getting ready for the day. So if you're ever in Phu Quoc, you find this bridge, and then you know where everything is. One side is the tourist night market area, and one side is, you know, the morning market area. So something to explore on both sides of the day. It's quite the scene to see how it's like a light switch. You just flip it from one side to the other. So the kind of traffic that goes through. In the morning, that side is just hopping. At night, this side is the place to be. So, you know, they have quite a nice system, and they plan it out quite nice to kind of accommodate the tourists here. I don't know how many tourists venture into a wet market, but I know that from what I seen last night, a lot of people ventured into here. So if you are more adventurous, I would check out both. One, I will say about 8 a.m. and the other one about 8 p.m. So that's about wrap it up. I know that once I walk to the end of this street here, I will definitely make my way back into the hotel. Alright, thanks for watching. Join us next time when we explore some more around Phu Quoc Island, some off-the-scene tourist sites and beaches, and different things that we don't often get to see. So join in and see you next time. Please give us a like and subscribe if you like these kind of content to encourage me to do more content like this. Thank you and see you next time.